Hey, hello guys. So we are right now into Power Query Editor. We have learned a lot of transformations last time, but we need to talk about these transformations now, which we left. We will just talk a little bit about this additional points about this add column option. We'll look on them and then we'll move forward for the next other transformation. We have done with the conditional column. We have done with the column from example as well. Custom column will come in picture when we'll talk about the decks. So that will be a later on part. Yeah, right now, what about this duplicate column? Sometimes what happens is if you need to perform any transformation on your any of the column, what you will do is instead of putting the transformations directly in the column for safety sake of concern, we can duplicate the column. We can create a duplicate column of this column. And for example, if I create a duplicate column here, first of all, then I'll try all my transformations here. Whatever transformations are required, I'll try it on this column. And then if the changes goes okay, then I'll apply or I'll remove this column or whatever. But we can't directly, sometimes we don't apply directly a transformation in the city column, or maybe for some other reasons, if you need to duplicate a column. So it's very simple. Just go on to the column name, hit on duplicate column. It will create a copy of your already existing column so that you can try your other transformations. Okay. So it is needed sometime for safety sake and for some other concerns as well. So I'm removing it. We don't need it right now. So I'm fine with this. So let's go to this transform option now. And let's talk about these transformations options which are available here. Okay. What are about these rows? Let's talk about these points. Okay. So let's say suppose I want to, what I want is I want to, uh, I'm importing one. I don't want to touch these tables because it will be used later on for our purpose. So for understanding purpose, I am just connecting to one more data source. So go to your go to the home menu bar and click on new source. So it's Excel file, which I want to talk about. So it's related to the US sales. The data is related to US sales. And let's see how the data looks like. So if I open up this sheet, okay, the sheet will look like something like this. Okay, the data is somewhere around this. Let's load it and let's see what we need to perform on. Yeah, so we have something like this data, and maybe in some cases you will even not find this as well. Let me start from very beginning. We have data for some sales in year wise. We have in one column we have the year values. We have some in other columns we have the country names like Seattle, Portland, and we have some data for Vancouver, the city names, not country, sorry. And then we have some accessories like for which the data is there, the products, the bikes, accessories, miscellaneous, bikes, and all that stuff. But the data is in such a way that we cannot. First of all, we have null problem as well. We don't have the column headers. We don't have. We need to handle that. We have separate sales columns. It is very tough to do analysis on. So how to handle this kind of a data? Because whenever you will work on a real-time project, maybe with the client, you will find these kind of data sources a number of times. So when data comes in this way, how to handle it? First thing, what I will do is to handle this data, what we just need to do is we need to click on this button of transpose dataset. Okay, we need to click on the button of transpose. As soon as I do that, what it has done, if I go back once again, and if I see it here, what it will do, it will transpose the data from rows to columns and columns to rows. So if I do this, now I can find the values of these cities into my column one name. I'm happy with that. And in the columns, I'm getting the year value. In the row, sorry, in the rows, I'm getting the year values, which was available in my first column. Oh, that's fine. But still, we need to handle the column headers. We are not finding the column headers here. So what you just need to do is go into home menu bar. We'll find the use option of use first row as headers. Or what you can do is you can click on this button as well, this dot arrow button here. If you can find this option here as well, use first row as headers. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So if I'm using this option right now, I'm clicking on use first row as headers. So what it will do, it will create the headers for my columns. So now I can see data for 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks okay. We have two null headers right now still, but we can handle them, no problem. So we can put the header manually, like city name. I'm changing the column name. and I can rename this product, this column as a product column. That looks good. And inside this column, we have one more column of null values. So how to handle that? Definitely these two sales are belonging to Seattle City only. These two sales are belonging to Portland only. So we have a beautiful option given here in the transform that is called as a fill option. That is almost similar to the flash fill option in Excel. So we'll use that. So click on this fill option. We have to fill the values downside. So we have both the options here, fill down or fill up. For this example right now, we need to fill it down. Okay, so if I click fill down, it will fill up those null values. Okay, so now I am pretty much, this data looks pretty much good. We have city in one column, we have product in another column, but we have the sales of each and every year into different columns from 2005 to 2013. And that is not looking good for me, because the reason is we can't do analysis in such a way that we need to we have the sales values in different columns. So what I want is I want the data to be combined from all these columns into a single column itself. Let me do it practically so it will be more easy to understand. So what I'll do is I'll select from 2005 till the last column of 2013 by pressing the shift key. And then what you need to do is there is an option given as unpivot column. So if I hover my mouse over there, can you see what the description is giving? Translate all but the currently unselected columns into attribute value pairs. Okay, let's do it practical so more better to understand. If we click on this unpivot columns option, it will ask me unpivot columns. Yes, I want to unpivot my selected columns. If you want to leave these columns and unpivot the other columns, so what it will do, you will go for this option. Okay, so what it will do, it will unpivot the other columns which are not selected, but we are right now interested to select these selected columns. Click on unpivot columns. As soon as I do it, you can see here now I'm getting the sales year value into a single column. I have all the values going up from 2005 till 2013 into a single column, and I have the value column where I have the sales numbers, so I can do my analysis. I can create calculations on this column and I can do my analysis properly. And then we can group the data into the visuals based on year-wise data. We just need to rename it now, year, and we need to rename this column as well as my revenue or sales. So now it looks a very simple and fast, clear data set, which makes it very simple for us to go ahead and start working on the analysis process. Okay. So if I repeat in a small way, what we have done, we have used, if I do the summarize the things, what we have done, we have first used the transpose button, which transposes the rows from rows to columns and columns to rows. Okay. And then we have used a very good feature, use the first row as headers. Sometimes we need to set the values from first row into the headers of the table. We have done that. And then we transpose the data, unpivot the data. So for the selected columns from year to all the sales, I have done unpivoting of the columns so that it has given me the whole year value into a single column and the whole revenue value into a single column, which makes it possible for me to go ahead and do the analysis on these columns. So now it looks all set. We can rename this table as well as sales as sales fact data. It's done. And now what we just need to do is we need to first of all we should move into the another group of fact table group where we have the fact table group. So we have two fact tables now. Okay, and we'll see in the coming up parts that I'll show you with an example that how to merge up the data from two tables into a single table. That will be kind of a joining between two SQL tables. It will be same kind of operation when we apply joins between the two SQL tables. The same thing we can do here as well. Combine the data from two tables, applying a join. Okay, and then for that we use the merge option in SQL Server in Power BI. Sorry. So now let's talk about some other options as well before that. So if you need to click on some, let's talk about some other points here which we have. If we click on this rename, that's very simple. I already told you rename of any currently selected column, so that's fine. Data type we have already discussed to how to change the data types and all those. So we are not going to repeat them. The replace values. Yes, this replace value option is sometimes very important to replace the null, to handle the null as well. And even if we need to replace any particular value with some other value. For example, here I want to replace the USA with US. Okay, in this column, I want to replace all the USA values with US. So what I'll do is I'll go to replace values. I'll click on replace values. It will ask me value to find, which value to find. So USA, now here, USA, and the value to replace with. And replace it with US one. Okay. So many times you will require this option to replace the unwanted values with some correct values in your data as per your client need or as per your requirements. So you jump up here onto the replace options and put the correct values in the replace. So there are some advanced options as well. Okay, some if you have some special characters included like hyphen symbol, if you have some special characters of underscore or any other characters, then you need to click on this checkbox. Okay, and if you need to match the entire sales content, then sometimes we have a string kind of in a cell, then we need to go for this option. Right now we don't need it. We need to just replace the USA with US. So I'm okay with this. I click on OK. It will replace all the USA value with US. Okay, and we can find out this replace option here. Okay, we have already discussed about the split column, so it is not required anymore. So I'm fine with this. Okay, and okay, that looks okay. So now what we can do is we can go here and we can close and apply so that we can load these required changes here into the Power BI data set. We can start creating the reports. Okay, so click on close and apply. Once you are done with all this, then click on close and apply and load the data set. But before that, in the remaining part of the video, we'll talk about one more very important points in the Power Query editor to create calendar tables. Sometimes what happens is we have the date values here in the dim date table, and we have the sales fact table as well, where we don't have the date column. But sometimes we do what we want. We need to do for analysis purpose, for year-wise analysis or maybe month-wise analysis. We need a calendar table to be created from between two specific dates. Let's say, for example, from first of January 2013 till 1st of January to maybe 12th December 2020. We want to create a proper calendar table into the data set. So I'll show you that how you can generate that calendar table using Power Query editor, and then why do we need to mark it as a date table in Power BI? We'll understand that concept of marking one table as a date table. So that will be our next part of this video. Okay. Meanwhile, you go and practice all these required parts. Come up with your queries, and I'll put this source file in the comment section. So go and take it from there to practice purpose. Thank you.